Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven, and yes, I'm in the jacuzzi. I woke up really kind of early. I could not sleep all the way until 3:30, so I decided to take a bath. I wanted to take a jacuzzi. I did last night, but I didn't want to wake anybody up with the noise of a jacuzzi, so I'm just taking a little bit of a bath this morning. I never take baths because I'm a big person and I displace a lot of water. There's very rarely a tub that can hold me and allow me to get actually wet. So, yay. All right, so I'm going to just relax here for a little bit, do a little reading, and then get ready. My bags are already packed. I'm ready to go, really, but I've got another hour or so before I have to get ready. So I will talk to you later on this morning. Bye. So guess who forgot their tea tumbler at the hotel? Me. So I'm getting a hot tea and scone at the Portland roasting coffee something or other at the airport. The tea looks good, but I really miss my tumbler. Really irritated. They're going to hold it for me at the airport because I'll be there next week. At their hotel. I'll be there next week, though. Hey, guys. All right, so we are in Vegas. We're about to head out to Atlanta. And thanks to the, the air currents, it's only going to take us 3 hours and 23 minutes. How fantastic is that? Oh, my goodness. So we had a 3.5 hour sit here in Las Vegas. I spent probably an hour and a half of that. Hour and 40 minutes in the quiet room trying to sleep. But every time I would like lean back, and once in a while I'd be like, and I'd wake up because I don't want to be that guy snoring in the quiet room. But then there's this person next to me who was snoring. And my two coworkers who were also in the quiet room both accused me of being the person snoring. It was really bad. It was not nice. But yeah, I'm sort of half rested, and since I don't have my tea tumbler with me, I'm gonna have to depend on my little caffeine tablets just in case as we make our way to Atlanta, because I am very drowsy right now after that pseudo nap. I'm sure I'll wake up. All right, well, I'll see you in Atlanta. We're gonna be boarding in a moment. Hey guys, hi, welcome to Atlanta. So before I forget, I want to mention again that I'm doing a giveaway. I've said it in a couple of videos, but I really want to push the point so enough people hear about it. So I'm going to be giving away an eBags Crew Cooler 2, brand new in its plastic, something I think that any new flight attendant or someone who's going to training would really find useful, right? So if you want to enter into the drawing for that, you don't have to subscribe to my channel, although I would like you to. You don't have to follow me on Instagram because I hardly post anything and I don't even know how to look at messages on Instagram. So the only thing you have to do, it's only one thing, but it's not the easiest thing, actually. It's the best thing, though, is I would ask you to do something kind, generous, or thoughtful for someone who's less fortunate this holiday season. So, and it can take any form. This act can take any form whatsoever. It was a few months ago now. It was a few months ago. I was at Subway. There's a Subway sandwich shop at the end of my street. And I was getting ready to go to work. I had my work bag there. It was in uniform. And there was this guy who's kind of he's homeless in a big, very dramatically homeless person. He's also severely mentally ill, the poor thing. He's got like no teeth. He's all covered in dirt, and he's wandering around and he's holding up his pants with one hand because his pants are too big for him. And he's in the Subway trying to buy a soda or a drink just to be able to sit down somewhere for a little while, right? And so he's scrambling, trying to find coins. And so I was right behind him ordering my sandwich. And I said, hey, can I take care of that for you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I said, have you eaten? And he's like, well, no. And And he just went a little weird, but I was like, do you want to order a sandwich? He's like, yes. And he ordered a foot long, and I forget the exact sandwich, but he knew his order to the T. Like, he described it, like what he wanted, what he didn't want, how much he wanted, and it was like this practiced thing. I don't know. It was weird. And he sat down with his few teeth he had left, and he attacked that sandwich. And he's like, hey, do you have any... I won't go on too long, but he wanted to know if I had any money, because he wanted to buy some pot. Because the guys at the 7-Eleven were being jerks and they weren't sharing their pot. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have any money or pot. I'm so sorry. And his name is Lauren. Like, you're probably too young to remember Lorne Michaels, the actor, but his name is Lauren, and he was just suffering from a hard time. And buying him a sandwich really felt good for me, and he really enjoyed it. And he said, hey, do you have a belt? And I hadn't really thought of this, but he's walking around holding his pants up with one hand, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, so sorry, I don't have a belt. I don't have an extra belt. I just have my work belt. And then I'm realizing, no, you know what? I have that navy leather belt, and I loved this belt. Little foreshadowing there. It was a navy leather belt, and it's so hard to find a navy belt, and I thought it worked really well with jeans. It was a really versatile belt. It worked with anything, and I loved it, and it was in my work bag. So I thought about it because I really liked this belt, and I opened up my rollerboard, and I found the belt, and I said, here. And he asked me if I could help him put it on his pants, the loops, and just touching his pants they were like crunchy, just ugh. I could not finish my sandwich because I could not wash my hands there, because it was indescribable is what it was. But belts are something that some homeless dudes just don't have, and people think about socks and shoes, but belts are really important. So I leave any extra belts that I'm not going to wear that are kind of worn, any spare shoes I'm not wearing, things like that. I leave them down by the dumpster near my house, or a dumpster that's down by the laundromat where a lot of the homeless people kind of hang out. And I do things like that often, and it just seems to be all the time. And I'm not bragging or about my acts of kindness. That's just one little act of generosity that I can think of at the moment. And I'm sorry this story is taking already so long. But, I live in a very poor neighborhood, and if I'm at McDonald's or at Subway or wherever, even Jollibee, I love Jollibee, there's always someone scrambling coins to buy something. And if I can afford it, I can just buy their meal for them. The only negative sometimes is the cashier, or the person behind the counter, will look at me and go, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, thank you, just do it. Whatever, but I see Lauren once in a while. He lives under this sort of overpass thing. It's across a bridge that goes from one side of South Maryland over to Sunrise Hospital, and he lives over there. And there's a guy that lives over there in a wheelchair. A guy lives in a wheelchair right on South Maryland, right by Sunrise Hospital. So I just try to do little things like that when I can, and that's not all the time, but when I can, I do. So if you have an example like that, boy, I'm talking a lot about this, aren't I? I'm so sorry. Or if you volunteer in any capacity, helping other people who have less than you do. It doesn't have to be grand. It can be a little teeny act. Let me know in a comment underneath one of my Vlogmas videos, which is any video in December. Let me know what you did. Let me know, and potentially what you got out of it, what satisfaction. Helping Lauren with one meal and a belt doesn't sound like a lot, but I know that he slept better that night. And the ease to be able to walk down the street without your pants falling down around your ankles must be a small comfort. So I want to get a blanket for this guy who lives in a parking lot near me too, but that's next time. Blah, 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 blah. So leave a comment below and I will put you in the drawing. If you don't need a lunch bag and if you can afford your own, don't let me know you don't want to enter. But I would suggest that you do that nice thing anyway, okay? So what was the rest of my day like? That's what you're thinking, right? Because I really want to know. This day was very long. I was looking at the schedule and today was blocked at duty day of just under 11 hours. Excuse me, but it felt like 14. We flew from Portland to Vegas, sat for 3.5 hours, and then flew here to Atlanta. It just felt like a very long day. This last leg was pretty good. Almost everyone seemed pretty chill, except for one person, and it wasn't anything about me. It was nothing negative towards me. But we had just hit 10,000 feet. My lead had made her 10,000 feet announcement. And the seatbelt sign was still illuminated. But from my position, I could see mid-cabin, it was row 19, I could see down the aisle that there was some sort of confrontation happening with a woman who was looking behind her this way, and she was mad, and you could see it from however many rows away. That plane has 26 rows. She was in 19, and I was behind the bulkhead. I could still hear her over jet engines, and I could see her very animated face. And so I unbuckled. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I went over and I approached it with this very positive, smiley, "Hi, hey guys, what's going on over here?" You know, that kind of thing. Not like, "Hey, what's going on?" And this woman she was irrationally upset, like in a volatile upset. Her face all screwed up, really, really mad. If you've seen someone like at a grocery store or anywhere in public, just irrationally mad, furious, you know that face. Well, the gentleman behind her was very tall, and if you know who I work for an airline that wears black and yellow. Our seats are very close together, and he's very tall. Well, his feet were in a very normal position. She was very short, and she had pushed her feet behind her, underneath her seat a little bit. Well, the tips of his toe on one of his shoes had touched her shoe. And she lost it. She lost her poop. She lost her mind. And everyone around her was like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm surprised there weren't video cameras out, or cell phone cameras out. And so I was like, hey, you know, hi, okay, sure. And she just continued to like lambast me about the evils of this man's toe. And it was really loud and really aggressive. Again, not aimed at me. So I got down real low and I said to her, because this is the truth, I'm going to ask you to bring your tone down and your volume down just a little bit. I have used the tone that you're using right now, and I was unaware of how it affected the people around me. That's what I said. I don't think she was prepared for you to hear that, but she kind of heard that. She was, part of her was listening to the reality is she probably knew that she was crossing the boundaries of being a civil person. And so she's like, but he's touching, and and so I said, I'm going to ask, I can see where your feet are. Would you mind just scooching them up just 1 inch? You have lots of room. You're a petite little flower, I said. Things like that always seem to help. And so the guy behind her, the very tall, very patient, very nice man, I said to him, and I kind of winked out of one eye where she couldn't see. I said, sir, would you mind just moving your foot just a little bit? And he did, but he didn't have to. And the situation was resolved. But no, it's all done. we're all good. I said, we're all going to be good citizens here. So if you guys need anything else, you just let me know. And I walked away. And I'll tell you, pretty much everyone within 5 rows up and down stopped me at some point in the trip and said, thank you so much. One guy who was sitting up in row 4, this happened in row 19. This guy sitting in row 4C said, wow, I hear you were a hero back there. And I'm like, how did you hear that? His brother was sitting behind the 2 people who were upset, and he had gone up in front and was like, you wouldn't believe what I just saw. But it was over, and that was the only excitement for the whole trip. Otherwise, pretty much everyone kind of napped the whole way. I did struggle trying to keep my eyes open since I didn't have my tea and I wasn't drinking any coffee. So I had some Chex Mix or something, because it's hard to be sleepy when you're eating something that crunchy. And then now I look at the clock on my screen here, and I realize I've been talking for almost 14 minutes. So I'm going to stop. Thank you very much for watching Vlogmas Day. Is it 11? I don't even know. I'm going to, I just finished my dinner. I'm going to eat a couple little dried apricots for dessert. It is almost 9 o'clock. I have to be in bed by about 10:30 for a 5 o'clock van time. So I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be flying from Atlanta to Tampa, Tampa back to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Las Vegas. But good news, there's no sit. So our duty day is scheduled to be 10 hours and 43 minutes. It's going to be a long day. But you'll be with me. I hope nothing interesting happens, as much as it does offer me something to talk about for Vlogmas. It's not always the best experience when I'm in the plane, so I hope nothing happens. I hope tomorrow's a really boring day. But I am back relatively early. I'm back about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and so I'll get to see the cats. And that means you will too. Yay, right? All right, well, you have a great night, and happy Vlogmas, and I'll see you soon. Fly safe. Bye.